Well, hello everybody, it's Richard here, and today I'm going to show you one of my purchases through eBay that I've actually got for a friend in the office whose wife wants to play some of her old LPs and 45s. So he was looking for something that was fairly small, portable, that she could just play her vinyl on. So I looked on eBay and came up with this little machine, and it was actually advertised as faulty, so that obviously means it's going to need some work on it. And I'm just going to take Mr. Panasonic off the his perch and see whether he'll help me out and then show you around. It's a machine that's actually called a Cosmos or Cosmo, and I'm just reading off here. It's the Cosmo 751, and it's called a cold acoustic circuitry. So I'll do some other bits around in a second. So just like to hold with me for a second while I just remove my friend here from his purchase. There, his perch, I say. Right, here we go. Now it comes like this in this very nice box here, which case I say here, and this is the bit the speaker fits in, and that's the bit the main player fits in. Now I have to say I've done a bit of research on the internet and I can't find anything. I googled the Cosmo 751. I found one posting on there which was on YouTube, which was saying that this is saying it's a faulty machine. So whether there's a fault with these, I don't know, all in all, but it said no sound, so there's one already there. The interesting thing about this is it's got one of those reverse magnet speakers here, which is functioning. It was full of dust, because of course, normally speaking, if you get one that has if you ever get a record player that has a speaker that's actually facing upwards, normally what happens, you get a lot of muck going in there, and secondly, often the voice coil will actually seize up. This one, actually, as you can see, is quite free. It's and I've had some sound out of it. I'm going to actually test it fully by playing something through that, just to make sure it's fully functioning. I suspect it is. The actual player itself, I've actually got the motor to run, and had to put a new plug on there through an RCD. I always use an RCD because you never know whether something is shorting out or not. And certainly the motor runs, and actually the deck will actually reset itself. Interestingly enough, I had to work out how to get the turntable, this is metal turntable construction, off, and there's a little screw. I don't know whether you can see that. I worked it out because sometimes they seize up these. I'm just going to find a pointer. Sometimes they seize up, and there's a screw there that you just release and then pull the clamp back, and then the whole thing literally lifts off like that. So, and obviously that needs a good clean out as well. The motor itself is a 4-pole motor, so it works very well, free. The idle wheel is obviously been in the rest position, so it hasn't got any dinks in it at all, or impressions, which is quite good. And the whole mechanism does actually function. Now underneath, there's a bit here. It actually, interesting enough, only plays, I don't know if you can see that, but plays 33, and that one is 16, of course, the famous 16, and 45. It's not a 78 player, it doesn't play, and of course the idle wheel moves up and down to the various positions, which are quite common on most players. And the arm does the reset, so when the arm goes across, it just stops on play, and you have to lift it off. Interestingly enough, we've got volume. I take it that's treble, and that's probably bass, but I'm not sure. One has got a red flash on it, and the other two have got a black. I'm not sure if that's significant or not. On the underside, here, that's quite interesting. There's the motor there, and I'm going to remove that to give it a good soak. Everything's very black, so it's obviously been cooked a bit. But this is the circuitry itself. It looks to me like it's got, well, you can see that it's got 3 transistors there, and then these are pentometers here. But this isn't working. I've got no hum whatsoever from the cartridge. I've checked the circuitry, and there is continuity or keying activity from this transformer. So there is output from there, and the capacitor is working, though I think I'm going to have to replace some of these bits because clearly something's amiss around here. And they're funny values. I'm not sure I know what these values are without looking at them more closely. I have a feeling that wherever this has come from, I'm not sure, somebody might probably be able to tell me, but I need to check this out a bit further because there's just nothing happening here. There's a bit of a click when because obviously the whole thing works from this pressure sensor here on the connection. When the arm goes over to start, then it reconnects with this switch system here, and then the whole thing operates. So when it turns off the whole of the system, including the amplifier. But interesting little project here. So looking forward to getting into this and seeing if I can get up and going. Anyway, we'll be no doubt doing another video. And speak to you on part 2.